child abuse. The taboo nature of this crime can create shame among everyone involved, perpetrators, victims, and family members alike. But until we begin to openly discuss this issue, we all help hide the abuse. The Center for Child Protection, a nationally accredited children's advocacy center in Austin, Texas, involves the entire community in its efforts to keep the children of Travis County safe. The center works with local agencies and other nonprofits in the investigation and prosecution of child abuse cases. They also offer counseling services with the goal of giving young survivors hope and the possibility of a future without shame.
Police accused an Austin woman of throwing her 4-year-old daughter into traffic.
This all happened late yesterday afternoon at a bus stop at the South Park Meadow Shopping Center. Aurelia.
We do begin with this morning, though, with that horrific murder of an innocent little boy right here in New York.
An 8-day-old baby girl in Arkansas is in the hospital. Forest City police say she was raped and beaten by her own father.
Two local police departments are asking for the public's help in finding a man who allegedly tried to lure young girls into his vehicle. The most recent happened.
Children today are still at the bottom of the pecking order. I think they are today where women were 25 or 30 years ago.
4-year-old, I guess, wasn't doing what mom wanted her to do. Mom became irate with the child, began hitting the child, cursing the child.
For every soldier that comes back from Afghanistan or Iraq, there are 10 children who suffer from post-traumatic stress syndrome because of violence. The majority of our cases involve sexual assault. I've come to believe that it's a lie, that we don't believe it's okay to have sex with children because it happens so much. When I see children who are so torn apart that they have to lay on pillows to talk about what happened, who say my bottom hurts, children who should not know those things. I can't promise that these kids are going to be healed, but I think our responsibility is to do everything we can to at least put that child on the right path. I just would like to tell you, one of the children will be 7 years of age in November, and she has a relationship with mom's boyfriend who happens to be 27 years old. Mom knows that the child has the relationship, but the fella in the home, the boyfriend, pays the rent, and so that's been allowed to go on. We were actually incorporated in 1989 after, I think, a rather large community outcry. There were 3 children who died in Travis County.
One of the child deaths was a small child by the name of Christopher Wohlers, and he was killed by his stepfather, beaten to death by his stepfather.
We began looking at the pieces of that case after his death. The police had dealt with the family. He had been to the hospital, and social workers had seen him. But none of these people had communicated with each other about what was going on in that family of little Christopher.
Before the center, what happened was not so great. Everybody had their own agency, and there was never a time where people came back and said, okay, what did you hear, what did you hear, to really be able to compare notes.
And any child who came into the system had to go to each agency to talk about abuse.
We had this child telling this story over and over again. It's just devastating for the family. And so as they're reliving that, they stay kind of in that bad place as opposed to being able to go forward.
George Edwards, and I work over at Dell Children's Medical Center. And the injuries have included broken bones, bruising. We had one child with unusual skin lesion. It turned out it was he'd been non-consensually tattooed.
Community leaders came together. These were people from the police department. It was the elected district attorney at the time, to talk about not necessarily where things went wrong, but what can we do in the future to do a better job in investigating these cases. And so the Child Protection Team was born in the early 90s.
That includes the police department, the Center for Child Protection, as well as Child Protective Services.
You recall that we were recently monitored and had a very good report.
We wanted to create one place where the child could be interviewed one time, and all of the people who needed that interview would extract from that rather than have the child repeat it over and over and over again.
7, 8. So one had 8, one had 7. And
the center allows us to make better cases. The various agencies who are involved communicate with each other, not just over the phone. I mean, they're there physically together. And so there's better coordination of the investigation.
If you look at a wheel and you have the hub of the wheel and the spokes coming out, I think of the center as the hub of the wheel. Center is the place where, first of all, the kids come, the investigations kind of begin here with a forensic interview.
We have a 5-year-old child coming in for allegations or sexual abuse.
What is your case, Detective Driscoll?
We're investigating potentially either indecency by contact or possibly aggravated sexual assault.
A forensic interview is a statement that a trained interviewer is taking from a child when there has been an allegation of abuse. A child is referred to the center when a report is made either to Child Protective Services, the Child Abuse Hotline, or to law enforcement. And so the referring agency will contact that parent to bring the child here to our center for a forensic interview.
And I'm actually the one that's going to be speaking with your daughter today. Before we get started with that, I just want to kind of meet with you for a little bit and let you know what's going to happen today and see if you have any questions for us too.
We explain to them that it's going to be the interviewer and the child alone in the room, that they're going to be recorded, and this is going to be a part of police evidence.
Has happened or she has experienced some type of abuse, I will try to get as much detail as possible about that. I'm trained in a way where I ask questions where I'm not leading or suggesting any information to children.
The detective and the caseworker are able to observe that interview as it's happening. While their child is giving a statement, the parent is going to talk with our family advocate to talk about whatever crisis issues are immediately happening in their family.
The core service we provide is the forensic interview, but we also offer therapeutic services here, individual, group therapy.
Right. The issues of trust, the issues of in your hopes and your dreams and your feeling of safety, and all of those things go away.
We have parenting classes. We have social workers here on staff that work directly with the families.
Okay guys, this is the only safe island. You guys know this is above water. This is almost like a mountain on this side. Look how small it is. You have to be really tight. You need to come on over. 4, 1,000. Yikes! Yikes! Oh, we lost Gladys. Poor thing.
We have our medical program. It's called the CARE program.
My name is Lisa Butterworth. I am the clinical manager of the CARE program. The routine piece of what we do is medical assessment and provide, if possible, an opinion about whether or not the child's injuries were accidental or non-accidental. We have a great camera system here. The resolution on this camera is such that you can actually zone in on something as tiny as a freckle. Oftentimes the camera is used to show patterns of injury. This is a child that was hit with a cord. You can see the loop here with the filter. You can see it even more clearly. Same child. This is a picture of a leg of a 3-year-old that was in the hospital and just has some random bruising here. When you apply the filter, you see that they show up, and maybe even some other areas that weren't obvious previously. This child, although this doesn't look like a horrible injury here, this child had a horrible abusive head trauma and actually did not make it.
For the blue one, kind of tricky. That's the red one. What about the blue one?
Sometimes when a child has been traumatized or a family has been traumatized, it's really difficult to get at the emotions that go with what's happened, and so we also provide some experiential forms of therapy. One is animal-assisted therapy.
Okay. And where's the end? Well, that's the red. Come here.
Sydney can do things with people that I, as a therapist, could never do. And I think it has to do with unconditional acceptance.
That's their mommy and daddy.
Oh, that's their mommy and daddy?
When I came to the Center for Child Protection, I had a foster daughter. And I asked Miriam, you know, hey, this little girl, she's really concerning to me. So would you mind stepping outside and taking a look at her? When she first came, she was wearing a 3T. She was 6 years old. She had just turned 6. The reason she was wearing a 3T is because she had been neglected so bad since infancy that her body just hadn't been nourished at all.
In terms of her ability to communicate, this child, when I saw her, was emotionally operating pretty close to a newborn. She not only has issues of chronic neglect, she also has issues of physical and sexual abuse in her history. So early on, she would begin to be self-abusive, and she became suicidal.
And I remember when Sydney first came, she would go. She didn't know how to, you know, pet her. And it took a while, a long while, before she made that connection, but immediately she could touch her and sit on the ground with her, where she couldn't do that with us, and she lived with us. And I think that really speaks volumes as to how she can bridge the gap between, you know, a child.
Now she can hug her mom.
Yes, now she does hug me, and she says, I love you. And she couldn't even talk at age 6. Miriam had my daughter do art, and she told her to do art about herself, and she gave her some tools, and we sat there and we watched her, and when she was finished, it said, "My heart is alive." It was such an amazing moment.
That day when she drew that picture, That for me was probably one of the most powerful things that I have ever seen. Because that is, to me, somebody who is waking up.
When I look into the future and see my daughter, I see her happy. I see her having kids one day. I think it will be a struggle at first because of some of the things that have happened to her, but I think it's something that she can make it through.
It's in some ways unrealistic for us to expect that our kids are ever going to forget, because they're not. And in fact, they shouldn't, because that is part of them. And so what we want them to do is to incorporate that into their lives as a part of, not the whole thing. And if we're successful in doing that, I think we have put a stop in some of the cycles that we see over and over and over and over and over again.
Right now we're standing in Christopher's garden. Little Christopher Wallers was the child that changed Austin through his death. But his death really and truly brought this community together in a way that it had never been brought together before. And there was one member in the community, Maxine Roberts. She was just incensed as a former teacher that all children could not be protected. But you remember when all of this happened and I met you for the first time, I think the thing that you did, you restored my spirit, because I had really lost faith that anybody would stick through the hard stuff. And I couldn't get you to go away. You just kept doing everything I asked you to do.
When we first started this, there was not even a computer that kept track of these children. So Christopher, he had been abused so many times, but no one knew it, and no one really had anything to track it.
They didn't connect.
They didn't connect. This was the connection. This is the hub of the wheel, right here. And we are so appreciative to Sandra for what all she's done, and she has helped more children in this county. There's not one person that is more instrumental in what's happened here than Sandra.
That they might not have a gift to give.
No, an orthopedist. I have a knee that needs replaced. This will be my last full year as the CEO. Go to work because they can't afford. I'm going to miss it. I think it's going to be a big, big loss for me. In this family, it looks as though Mom and Dad are both probably going to go to prison for armed robbery, and I believe Mom for possession of cocaine. But these 4 children have been sleeping on a twin mattress, and for a relative to be able to take them and avoid foster care, they needed a mattress. We pretty much know all the mattress people in town because we buy a lot of mattresses.
For those of us who work with her, it's a little bit scary what life is going to be like without her. I mean, it is huge, huge shoes to fill. But hopefully Sandra has taught all of us well enough that we'll be able to carry on her legacy. We are her legacy. We believe in the same ideals that she has, and that we'll carry that mission on and won't let it die.
She is leaving capable people of running it, but there will never be, ever, another Sandra. And I mean that. It's
I
true.
promise you there will be.
No, there won't be another one of you. There's such a thing as a God thing, It was definitely a God thing in my life to have Sandra come in my life. And to have the center, I wish we didn't have to have it. I wish we had parents that knew how to parent and how to take care of their children. We had no child abuse. Wouldn't that be a wonderful world?
That's what we both want.
But we, sadly to say, need this.
Hi, my name is Mr. Crocodile. I'm not nice to people. You should be nice to people. Why?
Really, nothing can prepare you for seeing what other human beings can do to their children, and these are their babies.
You see something, I see a child like that and you think, what? Truthfully, just because it's hard to just process that. But I basically have been able to bear witness to her being kind of a rock, a lump, you know, a mess to a person. And I don't know that there's words for me to describe that. It's certainly a gift. It almost is like having a child being born.
It's funny, that's how I feel. And I've told her several times that I know I didn't actually give birth to you, but I carried you longer than either one of your brothers. I know she doesn't look like me, but I almost think she does because
She does.
I fed her and I did all the other stuff I did with my babies when, you know, they were in me. And she's a person now. I gave birth to a person.
The reason that this program calls to me is that it's the only thing that I'm aware of that really and truly is more than a Band-Aid. Child Protective Services is never going away. Law enforcement is never going away. So what about making them stronger? What about getting them the training that they need? Recognizing excellence. And that's the thing, I think, that has called us together as a team.
Here at the center, we plant seeds, and the seeds that we plant are, this is the way it could be. Whenever somebody comes here, if it's just for a day, or if it's, 4 years or 20 years, the seed that we plant continues to grow. Because for that moment that they're here, they are safe, and they are accepted, and they are embraced for who they are.
For the Visionaries, I'm Sam Waterston.
So speak your mind, 'cause every dream deserves a chance to live forever. Join the flow, the stream of all ideas, in the search to find the come to some solution. You're not alone, every dream deserves a chance to live forever. Every dream deserves a chance to live forever. Join the flow, the stream of all ideas, in the search to find to come to some solution. You're not alone, 'cause every dream deserves a chance to live forever.
Underwriting for the Visionaries was provided by the China United States Exchange Foundation, PetSmart Charities, Healthcare Service Corporation, a mutual legal reserve company, FJC, a foundation of philanthropic funds, and the following.